feel very fortunate because I feel so blessed to be able to be from two cultures and know two different worlds that are completely different and tie in together. My mother is from Mexico, from Chihuahua, and my dad is from Monterrey, and I was raised in Texas. So to be able to be a part of two countries that are completely different, but then at the same time they have a lot of similarities, I think truly is a big, big blessing. I think you can love both countries. I think you can get, at the same time that they're similar, you can get different things from each country. And what I derive from Mexico is that the culture is very warm, very loving, and very supportive. And that's the one thing that I get from there. And at the same time, I get a lot of my independence and my ability to pursue what I love from the United States. And they kind of both combine together and obviously have made me the woman that I am today. If I stayed in Mexico, I necessarily may not be sitting with you today because I might have chosen a different route. And the fact that I had that foundation of the culture and the love and the passion for my project and for my, what I do, at the same time with the independence that, the United States provided me and showed me that I could be a woman that could pursue anything. So I love them both for those reasons. The Art of Being was a project that I developed and put up in Los Angeles, California, and it was a monologue show that came to be because I'd been in Los Angeles for 10 years and I was able to get work in the Spanish market a lot. But the constant feedback was to my managers and agents was, she's not Latin enough, she doesn't speak Spanish, she doesn't look Latin, and it was very frustrating because I kept thinking, did they even bother to ask me while I was in the room to speak Spanish for them? they're obviously not knowing the truth. And became very frustrating to see how I was being perceived, and I wanted to give people the opportunity. The project was about 10 different actors, not coming in and becoming a character, but coming in, stripping it down and being themselves, and telling their story and their perception of themselves. I wanted to give them an opportunity to have their voices heard. Because as an actor, where you're constantly going in for jobs and you're dependent on other people to give you the job, you're going in for what they've written. And it became very, I was just like, I'm done reading for these characters with these heavy accents. Let me tell you who I am. And in the process, let's have these 9 other people tell you who they are. And the whole thing became just so wonderful because for me, it's so personal. It came from me. It was about bridging that gap of loneliness and humanity, because I think that we create so much separation amongst ourselves with our choices. And it became something from that angle, and it became something very personal and something that I thought, I'll do it for a few days in LA, and something wonderful came from it, that I never expected. And it was all about that art and that essence of giving something back to the community and letting these actors, get up there and do something completely different. I discovered that I'm stronger than I thought I was because I was the person behind the entire project and the one person that kept it going. I didn't have a budget to hire anyone, so I was doing absolutely everything in the project. So from everything from burning the music to creating the program to running the rehearsals to there was one flaw we had one day and we had no tech, and I went up in that booth and I learned how to run that so that the actors could have a sense of what was going to happen opening night. The actors learned from themselves because we're constantly being told, when you go in and you do a character, that's not what I wanted, or that's not how I wanted it. It was their opportunity to just be like, this is who I am. And I think they learned that it was okay to just be who you are, because I think sometimes we get caught up so much in the characters, we forget where it's okay to be yourself and to not be so cautious or worried about what people think about you, because we're constantly being judged on a daily basis when we're either working or going for auditions. So I think this was the one environment where they could just come in and just be who they were and be okay with it. And that's what I wanted to provide for them. We have passion. I think we have frustration. I think we have a lot of things. And I think those ladies that you mentioned, Salma Hayek, Jennifer Lopez, have kicked down doors and opened doors for me so that I don't personally have to do a lot of stuff of what they've been able to do. In a sense, they've made it easier for me. And I think a lot of it stems from the frustration that, you should be getting work, you could be working more. And I always say this all the time, that ratio of jobs to actors is completely off. So there comes a point where you begin to feel like maybe it's you, when in reality it's not. So you have to get behind your projects and move forward and push for what you believe in. And these women have done it, and they're just an example to follow, because you see them doing it and you think to yourself, you know what, I can do it too. The award is called the Toyota Moving Forward Awards, and they're done in conjunction with Glamour magazine, who presents the Women of the Year Awards at Carnegie Hall every year in New York. And I found out about the awards on glamour.com. They had a website and as well as a magazine, and they had, are you a woman who's moving forward in 100 words or less? Tell us about what obstacles you've encountered in life and what you did with those obstacles and how you moved forward. So I wrote in and told them about my frustration about not being able to get work as a Latina in the English market, working in the Spanish market, and how that had culminated in me creating a show called The Art of Being, where actors were to come in and tell us who they were, including myself. And I found out in June of 2006 that I was a finalist, and then I flew to New York and came back and found out in September that I had won, and Glamour magazine and Toyota came to Los Angeles and threw an award ceremony in my honor and told everybody about The Art of Being, which has been a great thing, and it's been a great honor to win because there was over 2,500 entries nationwide, and you had 100 words or less to tell them about. I'm the face of the working actor, the actor who doesn't know when the next job is going to come, and the actor who keeps moving forward because they have a passion for what they do. And they gave voice to that, and voice to a very different project. And so for me, it's been, and it was my, my creation, my baby. So for me, it's been a tremendous honor to be able to win that. I believe that if you fight hard and you keep moving forward, things will only get better. So the question is this: when faith meets fate, and the universe comes calling, will you let fear and doubt paralyze you, coming up with yet one more excuse on how your life can wait? Or will you walk through fear and doubt, step into the unknown? You know my choice. Now what's yours?